Okay, I'm doing this a little bit different. Um, but I'm going to go through, we'll try this. Okay, I'm going to go through something that we're going to go over today, but this is just kind of a refresher about what I'm going to do right now. So, what we've been working on is this stuff right here. So we started here. We did a little Pythagorean theorem. We did a little a squared plus b squared equals c squared, or I said do leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So the hypotenuse is your longest side. And I said to start marking that with an H because I knew later on we'd be doing more with that. So that was, I knew two sides of a right triangle. I didn't know the third side. I could do that. I knew nothing about the angles other than there was a 90. Then we moved on to some special triangles. Special triangles, well, I knew all the angles. And one side, could I find the other two? Sure, I had these little tricks here. So we had a 45, 45, 90, and then we had a 30, 60, 90. So again, I knew all the angles, I just didn't know the sides. I just knew one. So I had little tricks. All right. So this right here was your, well, what if I don't have any special triangles? What if I know an angle and a side? What could I do here? Well, this was my SOHCAHTOA. Okay, so remember, SOHCAHTOA all revolved around you being at some angle, some acute angle. So like that guy right there. I'm hanging out there. From there, I had three sides. Your hypotenuse. Oh, you see that? Oh, so your hypotenuse is across from your 90. So that was easy. Mark that with an H. Your angle is always made with the hypotenuse and the adjacent. So this other side of this angle had to be an A, and that left O to be your opposite, your other over there side. Okay, so that's what we've been doing. We've just been doing triangles. But now I'm going to take triangles away, and you're going to have to make your own triangle. So this is where I'm at today. So I'm going to be not teaching you anything new as in how you're going to solve them. I am teaching you got to draw your own triangle this time. Okay? So if you need to pause it and write some of this stuff down, great. But you can do that, and then I'm going to keep talking. Okay, so yes, there should be a 90 right here. I kind of forgot it, but that's okay. All right, so if I have an angle of elevation is I'm looking up, okay? So I'm looking up at the top of a tree, I'm looking up the top of a building, I'm looking up at a plane, I'm just looking up. So I'm hanging out right here and I'm looking up, okay? Now you'll notice I have some words by these three sides, okay? First one I want to talk about is the hypotenuse. Okay, so that's a direct distance. So if I'm talking about me to an airplane, or Jasper was up on top of the building, that's what we had yesterday. So if I'm me to Jasper, who's standing on top of this building, just taking in the scenery, of course, that's my direct distance. That's my line of sight. That's from my face to wherever. This one right here, they could use the words horizontal. They could say ground distance, the shortest distance. So remember, I'm right here, Jasper's up here, and this is my building. If I said, how far is it from me to the building? Well, there's lots of distances from me to the building. There's lots of them, but the shortest distance is that perpendicular distance. So if it says, how far am I away from the building? I want this one. This one over here, it's a height. It's how tall something is. It's an altitude. They could use the word vertical. Okay. That is just some keywords. Okay. But if I have an angle of elevation where I'm looking up, I'm going to draw this triangle every single time and put my angle right there. And that's it. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to draw it any other way. I'm going to draw it exactly like this. So in your story problem, if you get an angle of elevation, All you have to do is skim the problem and it'll tell you to draw this one. Okay, next one. Angles of depression. They're not sad. Angles of depression is you're looking down. So this is the triangle I'm going to draw every single time, and I'm always put my angle right there. That's it. I'm not going to draw any other triangle. You'll notice I didn't put anything by these because everything you just wrote on the other slide apply to these. So if you need to pause it or just make some arrows, I don't really care. This one, now I went to go check on Jasper. He's not up on top of the building anymore. I'm not quite sure where he is. So, but there's a lump down here. I don't know what that is. So anyway, I'm here, and if I say how far is it between that crumpled, it's kind of red, lump, that's that direct distance, okay? Now, if they want a ground distance, horizontal, or how far is the lump away from the building, remember my building's over here, so it would be this distance, but on your triangle, that's a horizontal, so it'd be right here. This also is the height. If I say how tall is the building, I know I'm standing on it right here, but that vertical line is represented right here on your triangle. So this is my triangle that I'm going to do every single time. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one and we're going to draw this out. So basically your assignment today is I'm going to give you 8 problems and all you're going to do is draw them. Okay, so that is the game plan today. And you're just going to draw them. You're going to put your numbers where they should go. You're going to put your variable where it should go. You're not going to solve anything. But when we do solve them, you're just using SOHCAHTOA. So I'm not giving you anything new. I'm just not giving you the triangle. So let's look at this one. Airplane pilot, pause, me, cites a life graph with a person in it, Matt. Well, that's Matt Berdar. The angle of depression is 26. Okay. It says the plane's altitude is 3. And it wants to know what is the plane's distance from Matt. Does she have time to save him before his raft has a hole and it sinks? Does she want to? He's bleeding terribly and there are sharks everywhere, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Okay, so you kind of have the problem there, but I'm going to do it up here. So the minute it said angle of depression, I draw this triangle and it said the degrees were 26. That's my go-to. That's what I'm going to do every single time it says depression. If it says find the angle, I put an X there. They gave me the angle, so I did 26. All right, so the plane is up here. I had a hard time drawing a plane, and then it comes out right there. And so oh, that one's actually not too bad. Okay, so here I am. Maybe it's a shark. I'm in there somewhere. Now it looks like a flying shark. Okay, so it's like Sharknado maybe. Okay, so here's the little raft here. It's more of a donut type thing. And here's Matt. He's crying, I think. There's a hole in the raft. There's sharks everywhere. Someone was bleeding, so I suppose I had to put some blood in there. Okay. All right. So here was my picture. Feel free to make cool pictures. Okay. So it's kind of an airplane, but it kind of looks like Sharknado, but whatever. It says its altitude is 3. So altitude is how high is it up in the air. So on your triangle, that's this piece right here. And then the question was, how far is it from me to Matt? So remember, I'm up here, or Sharknado is up here. God, that does look like Sharknado. I'm up here, Matt's right here. So the minute you do this, what line are you going along? You're going along that one. So that's what I'm going to have you do today. I'm going to have you draw some sweet pictures. And I just basically want, you don't have to draw sweet pictures. I basically want you to draw the triangle, fill in the information. Now, yes, if we were to go solve it, you would do your A, and yeah, you would do your O, your A, and your H. So like here's my 90. That's my hypotenuse. This is the angle I'm hanging out at. It's always made with H and, I hope you said A. So that means this is your other. Okay. Now, the minute you realize there's nothing over there by the A, then you have to use sine. I'm not having you solve anything today, though. But that's what we've been doing. Okay. So I'm not doing anything new other than I'm not giving you the triangle. So the 8 problems, I just want you to draw them, and then I will post the answers on Monday. Okay. Did that a little different. I hope. Oh, God. Sorry. This is why we don't give me teaching, because this is what you have to look at. So have a great weekend. And I hope that was as clear as mud. Peace out.